Welcome, Bhasi, to my humble channel. I've just started a new effort, and we'll do this during the World Cup. I'll have you some more times joining us with our friends. Um, I would like to tell viewers that Bhaskar presently is with the Bahrain team. He's on a coaching assignment as always, and he's just found time to speak with us. So, Bhaskar, begin with, are you following the World Cup?
Yeah, bits and pieces. In fact, did watch the India-Pakistan game, but otherwise, since we practice here late in the evening, been missing out on most of the games.
Okay, okay. So, was that the first game, first India's match? Did you watch?
I did watch the Australian game too. I mean, basically, I don't want to miss the India fixtures.
Yes.
The others, yes, I've been missing out a few.
Yeah, the Indians began well with Australia. I mean, they were right through, they were in control. And there was much anticipation that this India Pakistan match, as always, would generate interest, which it did. But how did you look at the competition? I mean, in terms of it is said it is the greatest rivalry. Would you agree with that?
In terms of the cricket that's been played, I think India is a much stronger side. Pakistan, on the other hand, seems to be a bit inexperienced. There's been a lot of swap and changes happening. A few of their main batters have not been able to find a place in the 11. Saying that they lack quality spinners, at the same time they lack experience as well. And India-Pakistan being a pressure game, I think the Indians are much more experienced to handle this kind of pressure. We got a few match winners who on their day can win the game on their own, and that's exactly what happened with. Though of course less than 200 wasn't a big target for India, but then the way Rohit Sharma batted, I think it was amazing to see him coming back into form after getting 100 against Afghanistan. We also have KL Rahul coming into the team, and he's in terrific form. So the middle order, the problem that we had earlier with having the batter at the number 4 position has been filled by KL Rahul coming back into the team.
And let me, I mean, Bhasi, as a coach, what do you think is the secret behind Rohit hitting so many sixes with such ease?
See, Rohit was I from a coach perspective. See, Rohit has plenty of time to play his shots. He's got all the shots in his repertoire. One, but the time that he gets, the position that he gets into, even though off late he has been getting out the ball, cutting in, where he's been a victim of the LBW decisions. Few of the bowlers have exploited that. So once it's the initial 5-7 minutes that if he's able to, if a bowler is able to get him out, fair enough. Otherwise, once he settles in, I think, and he's got so much of time, and technically he's so correct that it's very difficult to contain him. Not only that he has a solid defense, but he also excels in playing all those shots. He's got so much of time, and he's one of the best hooker and puller of the game in today's modern cricket.
And Bhasi, how do you analyze KL Rahul? I mean, he's such a talented batsman. Do you think Rahul playing a big role in this World Cup?
Yes, definitely. If you see the game against Australia, when we're tottering with 3 down for 2 runs, and the way he walked in, see, as I said, playing for India itself is a lot of pressure. When you're trying to cement your place. On top of that, if it happens to be a World Cup game, there's even more pressure, especially when you're playing on home grounds where there is a lot of expectations. Packed crowd expect you to perform every game, and then the way Virat and this guy consolidated the repair work that happened after losing those 3 early wickets shows that India has got depth in their batting. India has got match winners in their 11, and anyone who settles in nicely goes on to play a big match winning innings. No, that's what is needed. When you lose early wickets in the beginning, there are others to sort of take care of the middle order. And KL Rahul, though had injuries, has been out of the game for. We all always knew that the amount of talent that he has. I worked with him when he was in the under-19. A lot was expected of him, and he had performed even in Australia and other places, and even in England, he has performed. But then somehow he wasn't living up to that expectation that was expected of him. And in between, with the few injuries that he had, he was in and out of the team. It's a great time for him to come back and then cement his place now. And then the vacuum that was there in the middle order has got filled up, and it's a good thing. And then I hope he's able to maintain his fitness, and and he'll be going to serve India for a long time now.
And Bhaskar, they begin well. I mean, if you see beating Australia and Pakistan even before the first half of the tournament is over. So do you think this Indian team is very well prepared?
See, they've been playing a lot of one-day series even before coming into the World Cup. They were playing the Australians, and we beat them convincingly. And that showed the form that they were in. That shows the combination that has been created. Now is we have we have all the, if I could use the word, holes being plugged. There was one middle order place which was vacant, which we were trying through Shreyas Iyer, we were trying through Ishan Kishan. And mind you, there was a big loss for us when we lost out on Rishabh Pant. The impact player that we had, and a lot was expected of him in the World Cup. But then what happened is that the exposure that the other players got for the preparation for the World Cup, some of them came good. So that showed that the bench strength of Indian team was quite good. And in case of any dropouts or any injuries happening, there will be players to fill in. Don't forget Shubman Gill. He was in terrific form. Unfortunately, because of the dengue that he had to miss out on the first two games. But then if you see the bench, a guy like Ishan Kishan, who got a lot of runs against Australia, is sitting out in the bench. So that's a good sign. That's a good healthy sign for the Indian cricket.
Basi, final two questions. I remember you had told me about Pant very early in his career that he is going to be a big player. And similarly, you had talked about Gill. I remember you said, watch out for this boy. He's going to be a big player. So what was it that you saw in him? And he's turned out to be very, very true to what you had predicted.
I happened to see Gill when he was named for the Dilip Trophy for the India Blues team. He was the captain, and he had just come back from the India under-19. And youngster who showed a lot of promise, a youngster who had the right kind of technique, and the lot was expected from by the management and BCCI, to invest in him. The way he shaped himself in the under-19 tournaments. He showed a lot of promise, and to be honest, looks very attractive when you watch him play. To begin with, in the earlier thing, I thought it was a good front footer. He had to work on his back foot play as well, and then and over the years, with the experience and the amount of cricket that he's been playing, he has improved. He's got all the shots in his repertoire, and again, a player who has plenty of time, like Rohit Sharma. He's got and it's only a matter of time that he gets more matured and becomes the mainstay of the Indian batting.
Final question, Basi. How important is Bumrah to this team? I mean, he's bowling so well, very calm-headed, gets you breakthroughs, never loses his temper. That's very strange for a fast bowler, and he's excelling on Indian track. So, what would you like to say about Bumrah?
I think see, he's now the best fast bowler that we have in the Indian team. But then, unfortunately, the last couple of years he's been out of injury. He has missed quite a few number of games for India. Good that he could recover well in time. He worked on his fitness, and See, Bumrah has this knack of, he's using a lot of brain, if I could use it. And he's a street smart cricketer. He's a cricket smart player. He understands how to bowl on various conditions, various wickets. He has this adaptability factor working in his favor. What I remember of Zahir Khan earlier, any track that you gave him, he had an answer for it. He could bowl on the slow Indian pitches. He could vary his pace. He could change his line and length when he was bowling in the overseas conditions. Something similar to same what Bumrah does. See, again, adaptability. This game is all about adaptability. How you adapt to various situations, and you have to be ready for it. There will be some times when you're playing on slower pitches where he bowls the off cutters. He has a beautiful Yorker, and surprises you with a good bouncer. He also has the slower bouncer. So I think he's evolved himself as a frontline bowler, and India backs on him. And every time he comes on to bowl, you expect, there are certain bowlers we've seen over the years that whenever they come on to bowl, you expect something to happen. And this is exactly what is happening with now. The expectations are much higher. Bumrah, we only hope that he remains fit for many more years that he can serve for India.
Bhasit, before I let you go, I would love to tell them that you played Waqar Younis much before any of these international Indian cricketers played him later when you went to Lahore in '89. And yesterday, Sachin was praising him in the commentary box when they were sharing the mic. He praised Waqar Younis a lot. So, what do you remember of the Waqar of 1989 when you faced him at Lahore and Imran Khan had come to watch that match?
True. In fact, he was quite busy. In fact, but then I think later on is the time when he had developed that in-dipping, reversal ball, that he had developed. Both he and Wasim Akram were lethal when they used to bowl with the old balls. Very few cricketers in the world, very fast bowlers, either they had the pace, but they weren't very good exponents of the old ball. But I think probably this combination, this duo was very, very lethal. And pace, if he could have a long run up, the way he had the side arm action, wasn't very straight. He had the slight side on release. That's what made him lethal, because bowlers bowling with a little side arm action, they are able to, their reverse ball is very, very difficult to pick up, because it goes away from you and then suddenly, darts back. So that's what Yusuf, this guy used to do. And then, of course, he always had pace. He could surprise you with that bouncer, and it was fun playing him. In fact, it was really, I was tested playing against that kind of pace. He's probably bowling 90 plus even that time when he walked into the Indian team, walked into the Pakistan team. And as you rightly said, Imran was there to watch him because he had heard so much about him. And just after that, even though he got hit by a few of the Delhi batsmen, including me, but then he was picked for the Australian tour. And Imran was very, very, and then the rest was history. And we all know what all he did.
Yes, Bastian, I was also there. Happy to report that match and write about you and so many. I mean, the Delhi squad was there. So thank you very, very much. Wish you all the very best for your assignment. And we would like to have you again on one of the shows with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.